Right.
I have
Um,
to. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just turn off my camera, but I'm gonna keep my audio on. I gotta return some text, but I want to listen in, and I'll come back on.
um,
Is that right?
yeah. What are you doing? What is he doing? Are you
I'm
taking some
turning off
drugs or?
the camera, but I'm still here.
Yeah, I
I
don't
just
want
have
to
to turn
just
off the.
scrub that question. I don't want to know what you're doing if you have to turn off the camera there. Okay, so
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I'm still here. I'm connected to my computer, so I can't do
can I
anything
can I say
like
something?
like Alfonso was doing when we first did that first meeting.
Alfonso was in his truck going down the road in his truck, and
Oh,
before
he was
that
in
he
the
was
bathroom
he was
cleaning up. Yeah.
he was in a truck stop, and he was started off in the bathroom, and then he was in the shop, and then he was walking around his truck, and then he was driving down the road. It was the most bizarre three-way conversation I could ever imagine having. Um, Rudy, it's a little observation that I made a little while ago, but I never said anything about. But I'm sure you know this anyway. You look better with the beard. I
Thank
just,
you. Thank you.
I just, I just. No, I'm not.
Well, it
d-
was
d-
no, it
Don't.
was supposed to be like a. I usually grow one for 3 months and then I get rid of it, but I actually wanted to keep it this time because people, not that they didn't respect me before, but I think I have a little stronger authoritarian look with it now. So
Wow.
There's
I
Oh,
some.
hey, Rudy,
decided to keep it. Yeah.
I did want to ask you, are you, I know you posted your photo on the BU site from when you used to compete. Do you have, or if not, do you think it'd be a good idea to put that back, to put that kind of weave that into um, your market, or just maybe on like who you are, what you've done?
A little bit because what I've been told in the past, because I do train 50-year-old women, that they won't want to go to, they think I'm like a drill sergeant,
Mm.
muscle head, rather than me, man of peace. Uh, and it just, I have to, I want to have the healer thing more going than the,
Okay.
muscle head thing. I want to like, I kind of throw it out there every now and then. It's like, hey, yeah, I was high performance for a while there, so. But yeah, I use it, I use it
Okay.
on a limited
Just a
thing.
thought. Just a thought.
Yeah, that part of what I'm doing right now. You might have seen it on the BU site, like Leonard Calloway. He's always got his picture up.
Right.
One of the guys on my team, Nick.
Rochelle Parks.
Yeah, Rochelle, who used to be on my team, I recruited her out. And then the young guys, Matt Temby, who just finished competing
Yeah.
in fitness, and then Kyle Robert Lucan, who's another young guy. I'm like, okay, you guys, we are the older guys, you're the younger guys. Let's do like a more of a heavy lifting club. We can keep up with you guys. We got the old school muscle. So I'm kind of using that as motivation for me to get actually back in some really decent shape. So, it's kind of a loose thing. We're kind of going back and forth a little bit. Like we don't even have like a chat group or anything. I'm just posting and I'm, tagging them on it. And it's helping me. Like I literally am sore as hell. Like I have not worked out this heavy probably in at least 6 to 9 months. So
Wow.
I'm starting to hit it back and get back in shape. So my point was I don't necessarily want to show my old bodybuilding shape. I kind of want to get in shape so I can just show me more now, especially now that summer's coming,
Hey,
and
yeah,
I'm shooting more videos.
I will say that is key. I mean, I know people that have tried to sell like, Herbalife or whatever, and then they're not fit themselves. So
Yeah,
you're just coming from a consumer. I think it's definitely important that you not only, or even speakers I see. Is it me? Sorry. Even speakers. I think it's important that you're fit.
yeah.
It,
So,
it, it
like
adds
I
it
always
adds
have the
spice
muscle.
to it.
Yeah, I just got to slim down the
But
waistline.
but
Everything else is
but
there.
it's not just about. a fitness instructor obviously being, fitter than fit, right? It's about anybody in whatever they do being fit. So it adds
Yeah,
that
no,
element.
you're right. That shows success.
It,
It shows that you have control of your world.
it shows a
Yeah.
certain level of seriousness. Now, I can think of people who are not. I think of examples of people who train, but I would say are sort of not successful in business. But it adds an extra factor. I'm not sure if I would call it the X factor. I don't know, the Z factor maybe. I don't know. To to that element of the business. When you meet with someone and they are a healthy physique and they look healthy and they're strong, there's an immediate sense of respect for that person. The same way that if a woman makes herself look pretty and nice for a job interview, she's trying to give herself a bit of an advantage naturally. Naturally. Yeah, and it's the same with any kind of interaction and meeting. You really do want to present yourself as not just the best person for your client, but the best person that you can be for yourself, and maybe the best person in terms of being on the planet for the client. That it's like, I take care of things, I take care of myself, I look after myself, and I'm going to look after you as much as I look after myself. Because there's a lot of people in my position who have been working in the job that I'm doing for a period of time, and they get to my age, it's like, but like basically between the age of 35 and 40, they just let go. They just let it all slide, and they don't worry about it anymore. And they kind of like, oh well, I'm settling down in my life now, getting married, have kids, and I'm going to focus on other things. And they just kind of let it go, and they go out of shape. And I just think that they lose an edge when that happens. And
Yeah.
I've worked hard in the last 2 or 3 years to make sure that I did the opposite of that. And now I'm looking at them and I'm looking at me and I'm thinking, I feel better. Um, I think people get a better idea of relatively a healthy person when they look at me compared to them, and it does seem to make a difference to some to how some clients see the work that I do, even just as a teacher in a school. I mean, it does seem to make a difference, and I think also, from even from financial services, from that perspective, if you're if you're taking care of you, you got to take care of you first before you can take care of anybody else. Really, you got to look after yourself before you can look after anybody else. You gotta take care of your things at home and your life and your world before you can invest uh, time, effort, and energy in other people. It's just that who's who, who,
It's
who's
sort of.
who's
Would
what's
that scare you if I trained you? Like if I put that picture up? Not that I wasn't listening, Graham. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
no, not
no,
me.
no, just
But I do. I do want to see it.
something's going on in the background here that I'm not privy
I
to.
just sent a picture through Messenger.
I imagine
From a
it's
few days ago.
imagine it's
Yeah.
muscles coming out of muscles
Yeah.
where there shouldn't be muscles,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, that's and what I've noticed um, with people who are successful is that, and I was working last summer with a teacher who's now a director in European school systems, a big schools network for the children of people who work in the European Parliament, and we were talking about how he can promote sport and physical education as a more important subject within the school system. And I said very simply, it's health is wealth. That's it. If you're looking to make money, health is wealth, because you won't be spending all your money on doctors and all your time on hospital visits and all these other things if you just take care of your health. You're not going to be making money to waste money. The money that you make you'll be able to use in the way that you want, rather than waste it on trying to solve silly health problems because you did get a bad diet for 20 years or something like that. So so that's what we came up with for him. People were saying that money is more important. Okay, money is more important. If money is wealth, then health is wealth. So you got to focus on that aspect as well. So that was my little rant. Somebody else rant about something for a while. Come on, what's on your
Well,
mind?
no, it translates because my clients just tend to, not just because they're older. I just think they just have that perspective anyway. It's like I don't get people coming in like, can you drop 20 pounds off of me in a month? Like, I don't get that type of client. They know that it's for their health. They know that they have kids they got to take care of. They have to work, probably going to have to work longer than they had expected. And retirement may not even be a feasible option unless you're talking to Johnny over here. Um, so they have the proper perspective even before they walk in, or at least I give them that impression. So there's a consciousness. I think it's growing more where people do feel that there is health. Like, but the thing is, I'm in California. Like, I know the Midwest is a mess as far as people out of shape. So it's hard for me to give a proper perspective when I do what I do, and I live in Southern California because people are a little more conscious here than other places.
What's the deal with people saying that? I'm saying this on an outside perspective. I have no idea. What's the deal with people saying that there's a problem with obesity in the United States? Is that true? I don't know. I just heard it a couple of times. That
Yeah, the population is hugely morbidly obese, like more so than ever, and the kids are even worse. They're saying this will be the first generation where the parents outlive their kids because their kids are starting out uh, overweight, you know, as children, whereas people, usually naturally get a little overweight as they grow older. Women gain weight when they have kids. Well, all the kids are heavy to start out with, so their life expectancy is much lower than the generation before them.
so they're
It's a
saying
mess.
that the kids are going to die before the parents, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's be
Well,
the
and
where
yeah,
statistically
and
would
then also
be.
there's two types of diabetes. I always forget, but there's type 1 and type 2. Type
Yeah,
2, I believe, is genetic, where you can't you just have it. Type 1 is actually where you create it. And so people are taking medications for diabetes 1 as opposed to dropping weight. Because even if you ever watched like the Biggest Loser, I mean, that's not like commercial, but people, and just people in general, you don't have as much physical health ailments when you just drop weight. I mean, that's probably the easiest way to not
yeah.
take pills anymore.
The Biggest Loser. What's that?
I'll just hit real fast. Biggest Loser it is a reality show where they compete. That they come in really obese, and then the winner is the person over, say, a 6 month period that can lose the most percentage of weight.
Oh my
Whoever
God.
loses the most weight wins
Yeah,
the
basically.
$100,000, $200,000.
Yeah, and yeah,
It's
it's huge.
it's a terrible show. I actually had a blog for a while, like, okay, in this episode, I'll tell you why this, and this was a terrible thing to be showing the public. And it's like it was useless to even do that after a while. The first season was realistic. There were people who needed to lose 60 pounds, 70 pounds. Now it's like people coming in at 350, and then they're living at a resort. All they do is exercise and they are supposed to eat properly. How is this supposed to translate to to reality? Basically, this is not a reality show. That's what I used to say.
No, it's not. It's not a reality show when you're paying someone that you wouldn't normally pay them or pay them. You
Yeah,
know what I want to say, right? It's just not real.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is not real, obviously. So, yes, okay, okay. So now I know. Now I know what that is. So I get the Biggest Loser wins, right? I guess that's what they're saying with that in the title. Okay, okay. So, other experiences from our week, guys. I mean, you must have been traveling around, seeing things, observing things, looking at stuff going on. I had this idea this week. I didn't share it in the aha moments, but it popped into my head that my students are traveling a lot. Why don't I travel with them? Because I was talking before about wanting to be more mobile in the work that I do, wanting to get out of this square that my life has become, or this giant triangle that my life has become, of just here, 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 ping, 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 the same triangle constantly. Um, like the student who went to the Azores, right? I was talking to him and I'm like, well, next time you're going, I'll come, I'll just invite myself. I'll come with you, right? Next time you're going for a week sailing, I'll come with you out there. And he's like, oh, it's kind of possible. And I was, okay, you'll get English, whatever. I'll pay for my flight, yada yada yada, and all this stuff. And he's like, no, I'll think about it. And I was like, okay, good, good. The seed is planted, right? Not expecting anything to happen right now, but I'm thinking, hey, next year, these possibilities might exist. Talking to another client today who travels to different European cities, and I'm saying, like, how long is your business meeting when you get there? And he's like, oh, 2 or 3 hours. So what are you doing the rest of the time? He's like, oh, I'm waiting, I'm hanging around, I'm maybe looking around some shops and stuff, whatever. I'm like, well, look, let's go and make a day out of the language experience, yeah, and see if we can't see if we can't change something which is not really an experience into a real experience, for both the client and myself. And so this is.
So would that person be able to would you be able to charge that person, say, 120 euros for 12 hours?
um I would discuss it with them. I mean, obviously there would be a reasonable charge, but we'd have to see what was practical in that situation, because I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. I'm just exploring the idea with clients who do a lot of that, and seeing whether it's possible, because I know that I need to get out of my headspace a little bit in order to have different experiences, in order to grow. Seeing the same things all the time is not healthy, right? I mean, it's nice, but it's not healthy in terms of growth. You definitely need to, you definitely need to have new.
Gentlemen, I have to leave. I have a concert I have to see my kid in, and I'm late.
Oh my God!
My wife just texted me. It's just like 5 minutes away, this place, so I gotta go before I get in big trouble.
Okay,
Don't miss the concert.
All
Don't
right,
miss
I'll
don't.
contact you guys later.
see you, man. Thanks.
Okay. There we go. More organized in his business than he is in his home life. There you go. Priorities backwards. Never mind. Never mind. So, any moments you've had this week where you've been thinking about other stuff, or other things that have been going on around about you? Any observations that you've had related to business? Anything in the markets that's made you think twice about stuff?
No, not really. One thing I did. I'm reading a lot of annual reports now.
Okay.
Before I didn't have a lot of time to do, and I'm actually reading, and they're really fascinating, because I mean, to me it's like reading a book, because the company's really explaining what they do, what markets they're in, yada yada, and then I'm one of the companies I have is a railroad, and so and I didn't realize it, but in there, they have about 6 different markets they serve. Automotive, coal, energy, oil, and then LNG, yada yada, and it really, I didn't realize this, but it really serves as a leading indicator of really the economy and really what's going on. I just find that really fascinating, and so I've just what I really want to do is just really consume more and more information. I mean, that's what I love to do. So,
Isn't there something like the economy can be very often clearly predicted by truck drivers, because they're the people moving the
well,
goods around the country?
that's one of my theories as well. I mean, I've seen, yeah, you're right. Yes, yes.
Because they're right in the middle of what's going where,
Yep.
when it's moving. They're moving the stuff, so they know what's coming in, what's going out, if there's more, if there's less, if there's if there's new things happening, if companies are going down, they've got the inside information. If people have got contracts or not got contracts, and I'm imagining that truckers are talking to each other as well when they're stopping the trucks and sharing the information and stuff. So
Exactly. So let me go off of that and go further into my idea about crowdsourcing, um, my investment strategy of crowdsourcing for my clients.
okay,
Okay, so uh, and that's one of the markets I was looking at is the truck driving market. So say I have I dig deep. Let's say I have 10,000 clients that are truck drivers. Well, their money is invested with me, so they want me to do well. Okay, because in essence, so then what I'm essentially looking for, you ever heard of crowdsourcing? Is this a Do you understand what that is?
crowdsourcing is when you ask people to invest in something, not quite sure the process.
Oh, no,
No.
that's crowdfunding.
Oh, okay. Oops.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's
Okay,
okay.
that's
No,
good. Good. If you explain it to me, other people might get it as well. So okay.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then it'll be kind of like my vision video. I can go back and listen to it. Okay, so do you have Wikipedia where you're at?
Yep. Yep. I can.
Okay, great. Okay. Do you know what the Encyclopedia Britannica was?
Yeah. Yeah. The library of
What was
everything.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What about okay? So basically, it's been said, and I lost the article, but I read it one time that it 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 it, it would take Encyclopedia Britannica 10 years and 100,000 employees to do what Wikipedia has done in a matter of years because of a volunteer army.
Okay.
So basically, crowdsourcing is basically crowdsourcing is gathering information basically voluntarily. So when you think of Facebook, Facebook is basically crowd sharing. For example, look at our BU site. I mean, Eric's not there putting content up. CJ, it's basically we're all providing our own content.
Okay. I get it. It's like people set up sites, but they don't need to produce any content because the visitors to the site are producing all the content.
Exactly. Have you heard of Yelp? They have Yelp there.
Explain it to me.
Okay.
No idea what that is.
No, that's okay. But it's same thing. Uh, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. You know what? Basically, these are all sites that are basically facilitators for information. Twitter is basically a facilitator of all of this 140 or less statements coming in.
Okay. So, um, tell me how this helps. So, explain it to me like I'm an alien from another planet, which I kind of feel like
Oh.
one out here in the middle of nowhere. But
Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. But okay, so,
sorry,
so,
so you tried it and I missed it.
no. Well,
I'm
no, no,
really sorry.
this is good because if I can explain it to someone that has no idea what it is, then it helps me.
If
So,
I can get
okay,
it, if I can get it.
so so essentially, the strategy I'm looking at is bringing together people who are my clients and contributing information, whether it be a hobby, work, whatever, contributing information into my company, and that that will offer patterns to me on maybe companies, industry sectors of where to invest.
Okay,
So you go
okay.
ahead.
Let me ask a question at this point then, which is, how are you going to get the information from them?
Exactly, exactly. So it's basically set up. It'll be set up this way. We would get it from. email, an app, website, but most importantly, probably an app. And so basically, so someone could be at Starbucks and be like, you know what? The Starbucks I go to is always busy. I love the Starbucks; they're really nice. Boom, send. That's an idea.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be really profound.
So you're looking for investment ideas from the crowd.
Exactly.
Okay. And you're looking for things that they are interested in. Oh, um, you, was it you that was talking about the realization of the companies that you would invest in are companies that you like, principal, a couple of weeks ago?
Um,
What was that?
uh,
Something came
yeah,
up
that's
somewhere where you recognized some kind of pattern that the companies that were doing well were companies whose
oh.
products or something that you would use yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that okay. So basically, yes. So here is where the public cannot do this themselves because I could say I like Coca-Cola or I like Facebook. Or let's say I like Facebook. I love Facebook. I'm on it all the time. Everyone's on it. This is going to be a hit. I know it. Okay? But so from there, so yes, to answer your question, yes. And then from there, yeah, you have to do fundamental strategy to where you look to make sure they have money to see how much money they're going to earn, yada yada. So
Okay,
yes.
because that came up in one of my sessions this morning where I was
Uh-huh.
working with a businessman on vision and mission statements. I wonder where I got that. I wonder where I got that one from. Okay, so your stuff is being picked up and run with in ways in which you have no idea, right? Um,
That's funny. Okay.
and and my plan is with this business client because his business has a sales strategy, but his business doesn't have a mission statement. And the other thing is, he told me this morning that he just bought a new company, and yeah, he's in big business, right? And
Hmm.
he just bought a new company. I said, okay, what? Tell me about the new company. Tell me about the new company you bought, right? And he's like, oh, I just bought a chocolate company. And I was like, well, why did you buy chocolate? Why did you buy a chocolate company? He's like, well, I like chocolate, and I think that this company's chocolate is some of the best chocolate that I've ever tasted. And I really believe in their product. And so so he bought the company.
Oh wow. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and then it sort of popped up in the back of my mind, right? What you'd said about that before, and I was thinking, yeah, that's a great way to motivate yourself to to believe that you're you're working with a product in a business that is something which is important to you, and people will see your enthusiasm for the product. And he's like, and he's like, yeah, I know I don't know a lot about the product, but chocolate is something that I like, and I tasted that chocolate and it was fantastic, and there was an opportunity, so I just bought the company. He's like, and I'm like, okay, what do you know about chocolate? And he's like, well, not much. I'm saying, okay, well, you need to get out to where those cocoa bean plants are. You need to go out and get to the source of where everything is coming from and talk to the people there about the beans and and how that whole process works. And you need to, who are the main players in the market right now? Who are the main, your chocolate players? Who are the biggest competitors that you have? And he's like, well, not this company, not that company, because this is kind of more a luxury product. And okay, I said, well, you got to, contact the former international directors or former CEOs of all of these big companies who are now old and retired and are in that giving back to the world phase or stage, and say, hey, I've just bought a chocolate company. Can I have some advice, please? And that was, and I think that it's a really, really, really interesting road to go down. It's also a different level of business, if you can imagine, the complexity of it all. And we were having a meeting this morning, and every 5 minutes the phone would ring, and it would be somebody from a different company phoning and asking him for advice about should they buy this or should they buy that, or
Oh,
just
wow.
it's just like, and I'm in the middle of this going, this is too much for me, right? I just
And you're teaching this guy English?
yeah. I've been working with him for about 4 years, and when he came, he couldn't speak any, he couldn't say anything. I didn't even have hello and goodbye. And we've got to the upper, we've got to say there's 6 levels. We're at level 4. He could be at level 5, but we've what I don't know transgressed or headed down a parallel path where we're not so much working on the grammar now, but we're doing the life coaching stuff. We're doing the life coaching work. So he comes in and he explains to me what he's been doing in the last week and talks about it, and we talk about what happened, why it happened, and if there are ways in which things around about him can be improved. And then I use a lot of Pinterest resources. I go into Pinterest and type in skills in certain areas, and we go through some infographics and talk about, would this work, would that work, is this a good idea, how does he need to improve communication with him with employees. Another thing that we went through today was um, something that I picked up from ET, which was a company can't grow beyond the limitations of its management. So if your management is trapped in limited thinking, which I call the but can't thinking, anytime anybody says but or can't, they've just built a giant wall around themselves, and there's no point continuing the conversation because they've already decided that something is not possible. And that happens all the time, and people don't know it. And it's just that one word I pick up in a person's conversation where they say but, and it's like if you imagine somebody building a wall kind of in super fast speed really quickly. The words but and can't just build a giant wall around about yourself where
Right.
you just stop communicating openly about any topic. And then when people use but and can't together in the same sentence, it's just like an impregnable force that it's not even worth exploring. Yeah, because then you say to them, well, you're kind of blocking yourself a little bit. No, I'm not. Okay, well, let's not even bother going there. But uh, so what was I saying? I can't even remember what I was saying about something about but and can, and the student.
Your life coaching, and then you started out English and life coaching, and
Something about the language that he was using. I picked up that language in his. Yeah, he's limited his vision, and he's saying that his company can't grow any bigger. But the reason why his company can't grow is that he's not growing. If he can grow, then the company will grow. It's part of
I
that.
see.
Yeah, and because I'm saying, we've seen like, oh, he's got another company which is a printing company, and he's saying, oh, the printing company has this problem and that problem, and the market is difficult, and blah 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 blah. And I said, well, that's you're not describing the company, you're describing you and your experiences.
Oh, interesting.
And the company can't grow because you can't see anywhere for the company to grow. It's not that there isn't any way for the company to grow, it's that you can't see the way because you've blocked yourself, you've limited yourself in that. And until you find a way for you to grow as the owner of the company will not grow. You've got to grow if you want the company to grow. So you've got to have a clearer vision where, I think we talked about this before, it's not about the number of products that you sell, it's about how you're going to change the world and how the world is going to be a better place from the work that you do.
Right.
Which is the drive that's missing from what he's doing, because sales targets just lead to sales targets, just lead to sales targets, just lead to sales targets, and nothing really changes. So So we had a great in-depth discussion about all these different things, and so I just wanted to say that what you're feeding into me and the group, I'm then feeding in to other people
Oh, interesting.
as well. So it's not that it comes to me and it stops, but where it's possible and relevant, I take a little bit from here and put it over there, a little bit from here and put it over there. It's sort of a kind of natural skill share kind of process. So that's one of the things that's been going on around about. Um, I haven't been much on the BU Facebook and stuff recently. Is there anything going on there? I posted some stuff, but I haven't had much time to read what other people have been posting. Is there anything been going on there?
Oh, it's the same. Well, I haven't been on there for a while, and last night I spent about an hour on there, just encouraging people and chatting it up a little bit and offering any insight that I can.
Okay.
Uh,
I had this
yeah.
idea. I had this idea flash through my head today. I was these ideas spinning through my head, some of them good, some of them bad. And I was thinking about with our group trying to organize something like um, I don't know if this is too stupid or crazy, something like a 30-day challenge with just
Mhm.
with us, where there are 30 tasks that we can maybe small tasks that we can think of that we can do that will improve the quality of our work and our business and our life,
Wow,
and
I
we
like
have to
it.
and we do it over 1 month. We take 30 days, we take 1 month, and we we all have to do one thing every day to take a step in the right direction
Hmm.
that we wouldn't do unless the challenge exists.
Ah,
So we all have to we all have to it might be something as on one side something as silly as contact a few clients that you haven't heard from in a while and ask them how they are.
right.
You
Yep.
know, just a little something that we wouldn't do unless the challenge existed. And
I think
30,
it's brilliant.
30 little things like that, and to to have like I would call it like a boost month or something, where where we just take it doesn't have not something that's going to take a long time. You know, something that's just going to take 5 or 10 minutes out of our day just to do something we wouldn't normally do, just to extend our work, just to extend how it is, and maybe sort of everybody comes up with sort of 10 ideas and we filter them into the 30 most practical, and we set a month for ourselves, and we just have one little task, and we all have to do this basically the same task. We can obviously vary it, you know, basically the same task every day, just
Same
as
task. I don't know if I get that.
okay, well there it would be the
Or I
co-
guess
co-
you have subjects. Like read 10 pages of a book that has
yeah,
been sitting
yeah,
on your wall.
absolutely, that's what I'm
Okay,
talking
okay.
about.
So, 'cause I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say like if I'm reading the same 10 pages you are, I'm like, well, awesome. I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
anywhere. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Just choking on my
Or
ginger.
or everyone learn Excel, for a day. I'm like, oh, I mean, it helps Jackie. It doesn't really help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, actually,
t-
that would help me. That would help me a lot. Just a point.
yeah. It's
Or lift weights that I haven't been doing.
okay. Okay. It could be just be. It could just be a lift. It could just be
Yeah,
a lift weight day where you spend where you spend 10 to 15 minutes lifting heavier weights than you would normally lift, and that would be one of the challenges, and that would be okay. You know,
okay.
everybody. You know, you could do something from. I mean, and it could be something related to all of the areas that we work within. You know, it could be something connected with language, something connected with sports,
Okay.
something connected with finance.
So okay, so then we crowdsource this, and then all four of us submit 8 ideas. No,
10, just 10.
set.
We also
No, it's
submit
40.
10 ideas.
That's 40.
Yeah, but then we filter out the stuff which we
Well,
thought was
who's
we,
gonna filter it?
me.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, so it's crowdsourced. We all throw in 10 ideas,
And then
and it's crowdsourced,
and,
and you facilitate.
and I filter it and I feed it back to everyone and say, do you like it? Do you want to change something in it? And then I filter it again and we get a final list and then we set a month and we do this 30-day one little thing each day that we wouldn't normally do, um, which would improve the quality of our life or the lives of people around about us in some way. It might be, you know, um, I don't even know what it would be. It's just something that flashed through my head as a way of networking and getting out and contacting clients and um,
Yeah,
just that kind of contact with people and accountability. And as solopreneurs, we need to get out and
no,
communicate
that's
with
good.
people.
And because I gotta say, I have like 4 people I've been meaning to send cards to for like 3 months now.
Yeah,
It
that
just,
that.
it do take. I mean, I don't have the cards. I have to go buy them, but it would take 10 minutes, 20 minutes to buy them. Everything would be 30 minutes. But I just, I'm not fitting it in.
Yeah, and it would sort of be a kind of, I would say, like a boost month or sort of a positivity month. It's just throw out as much positivity around about as we can, and and see how that gets us.
Month of
Because
June.
I know for myself, this is just for me, that I get trapped in these habits, and I know that these habits of doing the same thing are good, but they're not going to bring anything new because it's the same kind of habit. So it might be, look, it might be something like go to a go to a coffee shop that you've never been to before and have coffee there.
Mm. Oh,
Just
that's fun.
get it. Just, it doesn't
Same
have to
kind
be.
of stuff I would never have thought of. So that's good.
It's just kind of get out of the box that we're all in. I think people in life tend to, unless you're completely insane, we tend to get stuck in our little boxes, thinking about the things that
Hmm.
interest us, not observing what's happening in the world around about, or you know, um, so that idea, like go to a cafe that you haven't been to before, just because we need to get out of the box a little bit. It might be drive a different road to. I'm just thinking, what's it? Drive a different road to work than
Yeah.
than what you usually. Something that's not gonna take a huge chunk out of your day, and just something to break out of the headspace that everybody gets within. You know, as you said, 10 pages, 10, 15 pages of a book that's been sitting on your shelf. And we all got that. We all got a book that's been sitting on our shelf. We're like, I got to get around to reading that. So, that there'll be one day which is the pages of the book. It might be um, take take a selfie in an interesting place and just post it on our Facebook, and and a place that is interesting for you. It might just be something like that, something that's just challenging us to get out of the box a little bit, or um, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I went on to pin. Whoa, are we done?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You're still there? Um,
Yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. If nothing's changed at your end, it might be because there's thunderstorms at my end. So
Oh,
that
wow.
that might have been why it dropped. Your video is off. Maybe you need to click the video icon on your Skype. Should be at the bottom of the screen there.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
okay, okay. So, Slovakia has. I come from Scotland. It's never warm enough or hot enough in Scotland for there to be
Yeah.
thunder or lightning or
Oh,
whatever.
right.
And I come to Slovakia and it's like, oh, that's what lightning looks like. Right, these giant electric bolts streaming over your head
Yeah.
across the sky and lighting up everything. Like, whoa,
So,
the first time I was here, I was like, this is amazing. And I got a couple of beers and went outside and sat on a wall and drank the beers and watched the lightning. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Went back inside, turned on the news, and like 3 people had died because they were hit by the
really?
lightning. I was like, whoa. Whoa, maybe sitting on the wall with a couple of beers wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, speaking of, and then I have to go at 1/2 past the hour.
Okay. Okay.
But how much is a pint of beer at a pub in Slovakia, or a bottle?
I haven't bought a beer for quite a while as I haven't
How
been
much is
drinking.
this at?
Like a beer is about €1.
At a pub or a store?
Um, in a good in a good average local pub, but if you go where tourists go, you'd be paying 150, €1.50. But a beer is just €1, which is good here because
Okay.
in London you're like £3 to £4, I think, for a beer in London.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's about 20. I would say it's 20. Uh, it's 25 to 30% of what a beer in London would be.
Uh,
So it's pretty
oh
cheap,
wow.
and Slovakia does actually have the best beer on the planet.
What's called?
There's like 20 of them, right? So
Oh,
and
oh,
and
there's
they're
only
all
20. Oh wow.
and they're all local breweries as well. So
Huh.
sorry, but sorry, but it's not for the rest of the world. It's just for
Oh,
the
they're
beer.
not bottling them.
Um,
Great.
well, they sort of are. You got to go, haven't you? Anyway,
I gotta
so
run. I have a client to call.
okay, so go do that. We'll think through the 30 things idea, and maybe I'll put it into the agenda discussion
Infographic. Okay, yeah, yeah,
for
that's fine.
for 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 next week. 30 things. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for the
Okay,
information,
thank you.
and speak to you soon. Speak to you soon.
Sounds good, man.